Hi everybody and welcome to my Unruly Housewife channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these tall, skinny, stripy leaves which can add so much depth to your work. You can even double them up, make underwater type plants out of them, and they're just great for putting height into scenarios where perhaps you've just got a few little plants and other leaf canes. Now obviously this isn't something I'm going to bake. I just shoved these on a jar. I'm going to decorate this jar in another video, but that's just kind of an example of why you should want them, and I do think that they're a good addition. So I'm going to show you how to make them. I've got a couple of tips and tricks to hang in there for, because you know they're not rocket science, but they are good to put a little bit of thought into. Okay, I'm waffling. I've had this flu for a week now. What on earth? It's not even proper flu that you get proper sympathy for either. It's just feeling yuck. Anyway, so I want green to be my main colour. All of these squares I've rolled through, these ones here, on number 2 on my pasta machine. But because I want green to be my main colour, I've done these two on 0. I've actually written on them so that I remember what thickness they are. That will establish that. Now you can have any colours you want, and I think it might even be nice to have kind of grasses with light colours, maybe browns or yellows, and even your stripes could be white if you wanted to, you know, do a different kind of leaf. But here we go with this. So I've got my centre sheet, and that is going to be on number 2 thickness. Either side of it I'm going to put 0s, so that the middle of my leaf is going to have a bit more green in it. And then either, whoops, I'll try and do it on camera, and then either side of that I will have some dark stripes, because I'm keeping up my stripes. Oops. And then either side of those I will have these thinner green stripes. I did this a couple of days ago and I couldn't remember how I used to make them, and I ran it through the pasta machine after rolling it to try and, you know, get the striped cane effect, and it really did take it way too thin. So at this point I would only use your rolling pin, and I'm just using this acrylic rolling pin. Whenever I've used these leaf canes in things, I've really enjoyed them. I've really thought that they added something good. In this case, a bit of cat hair. Oops, come away. It seems like at the moment everybody I speak to in the world, this is January 2017, everybody I speak to in the world either has this flu or knows somebody who has it. It's just going around. Okay, now I've got it to this stage, and I'm going to cut this in half now and keep one of the halves so that I can use it at a later date, or I can make other things out of it. I'm going to take this down reasonably small, and that might actually be enough. You could do them thinner than this if you wanted. I'm going to call that a day, I think. I'm just stretching it out a little bit. Okay, I don't want to go any thinner than that at the moment because we won't be able to see what I'm doing. So here you have it, and then you can get your blade and you can cut your leaves. Take that edge off. So I do that nice and fine. And now I can make a nice vertical leaf out of this. And that's obviously going to be too long. Now when I want to trim my leaf, one of the tips I would give you is whatever length you want your leaf, don't go cutting it to a point with your blade. pinch the end, and that way you get that green outside to come up both sides, which gives it a nice neat finish. That looks pretty good like that. And when you apply your leaf, you know, remember that you can do lots of twists and turns with it. I think these are better used when they've been made more recently. Sometimes canes get a little bit dried up or a little bit old and cold, and these kind of canes I find a little bit hard to warm up. Now, if you want to make these wider sort of leaves, it's better to cut thicker strips because you're going to be rolling them out to fit them together. So cut yourself a couple of reasonably thick strips, or even one, and you can cut it in half. And because we've got this slightly thinner green on the outside, we're able to use that to make the centre, and it's not going to be too overwhelming. So there you go. Now you push them together, and you can use your rolling pin. That will make them a little thinner, and it will also join them. And because we've cut them thicker, we've got a little bit of play there, haven't we, to do that. Again, I would suggest that you might pinch the top together more than cut it at an angle. But you know, if you did cut it at an angle, it would just be a different look. Maybe we'll examine that on the other end of it actually. Don't get a clump on it like I did there. And we'll just pinch that point. If you mess it up, you can always just cut a little bit lower and start again. And then you can pinch it in and use that to make some nice shapes. I'm going to flatten it out a little bit. Now if you did cut these at an angle, just to demonstrate, you would end up with a striped look on the outside of the leaf. And you may find that, you know, you may find that something that you'd enjoy to have. So I'm not precluding it, I'm just saying it's not my first choice. So you could do that. That was a cat hitting the floor. And then just perhaps pinch this. And even if I use that bit, actually it's quite pretty. Stiefel. I'm going to do a film about Stiefel because he's the first cat we ever took in. And I haven't made a film about him yet. Oops. Look at me, I've just wasted that one. And so perhaps you would have a couple of little leaves like that if you wanted the stripy outside on that one. Anyway, I hope that this inspired you. I hope you got some ideas from it. And these could be a lot thinner and taller, more bendy. There's lots of things you can do. But that is the end of the tutorial. Thank you for joining me. I now have a Facebook page that's called Unruly Housewife. If you want to add me on Facebook, there's going to be some behind the scenes stuff on there. And I hope that this flu will pass and I will be a bit more myself in future videos. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Bye.